Hello, my name is Jason. I'm a student in 8th grade. I'm in ISB. And I'm here to tell you about today, Flesh and Blood So Cheap by Albert Martin. Now, I believe, after reading this book, that the theme is you should always stand up for yourself when something's incorrect, and you should never stay silent. Now, I have 3 pieces of evidence I found in the book that I used to support my theme, and that I believe that it's very good as a piece of evidence. From page 78, and I quote, "In September 1909, workers angered boil over. Led by local 25 members, workers in several shirtwaist factories, including the Triangle Waist Company, voted to strike for higher wages and shorter hours." Now, this piece of evidence right here means that the workers were very angry and very displeased by the treatment they were getting by companies, and that they were fed up by the work hours, and they were fed up by the amount of pay they were getting. So they just decided to start a protest, and that was obviously another meaning for a strike. And now my second piece of evidence is from page 87, and I quote, "The sheer number of strikers forced the public to take notice and choose sides. If the owners had too many bosses, the police, and sluggers in their corner, the strikers found allies too." Now this right here talks about the public finding out about this whole situation about the workers and them taking charge in which side they want to support, and the owners and the businesses having kind of stuff to back them up with, having police officers or police departments that are corrupt, having sluggers, gangsters in the corner, and obviously that being more tougher for them to beat as citizens and workers. Now for my third piece of evidence, I'm going to show you something from page 94. And I quote, "Alva Belmont disagreed. She was the widow of a millionaire banker, and her family owned New York City's major subway lines. An ardent feminist, but none of that could happen unless women want the right to vote." Now this right here talks about Alva Belmont, a feminist back in when everything like this was happening. And she was very rich. She was a millionaire, and she supported this striker movement by the workers, and her and many millionaires. And let me know that a lot of these rich people or millionaires actually were women as well, because a lot of women workers were starting this cause and leading this cause. And obviously, because she was rich, she really had no reason to do this, and she went out of her way to support those strikers and what she believed was right. I recommend this book to anyone who's listening to this because, first of all, it's about history. Everyone likes history. And people who like history and who people like some serious reading, some real good facts, and I advise you to read this book. For me, reading throughout this book, I find it very interesting. The little points of information you get and the pictures, I found that really cool. And there are still some things that are happening back then, they still happen now, like discrimination, racism, workers being treated unfairly, wages, stuff like that. So the overall view of women still fighting for their rights and freedom of speech as well. And that's why I think you should be reading Flesh and Blood So Cheap. Thank you.